The first laugh came before the first insult, sharp, careless, and loud enough that every head on the training field turned toward her. No one knew what she was hiding under her sleeve. Not yet. Lieutenant Mara Dalton stood rigid beneath the bright morning sun, the kind that bleached every shadow and made weaknesses impossible to conceal. Across from her, Admiral Royce Hale, a decorated Navy SEAL turned commander, stared with a smirk that didn't match the medals on his chest. She'd reported late for PT, and he wanted the whole unit to hear his disappointment. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. He circled her slowly, boots grinding into the dust. What's your excuse this time, Lieutenant? He asked, voice booming across the open field. The younger recruits stiffened. A few exchanged uneasy glances. Everyone knew Hale lived for discipline. But today, his tone felt personal. Mara swallowed. Her heart thudded against the scars beneath her sleeve. Scars she'd hoped to never explain again. Medical clearance issue, sir. Hale laughed once. Sharp as broken glass. Medical clearance. For push-ups? For running? Last I checked, we're not training accountants. His words cut through the warm air. A bird rustled in the nearby tree line, startled by the tension thickening the field. Mara's throat tightened. She remembered the explosion, the sandstorm of shrapnel, the burning on her skin, and the faces of the soldiers she'd dragged out, one by one, before collapsing herself. She thought she'd buried all of that somewhere deep. She was wrong. Hale folded his arms. If you can't handle the basics, Lieutenant, maybe this isn't the place for you. The listening recruits shifted, whispers rising like a breeze. A few older veterans among them frowned. They'd seen that kind of dismissal before, and it never led anywhere good. Mara steadied her breath. The sleeve felt heavier than her whole uniform. With respect, sir, I can handle more than you think. Prove it. His voice carried across the field, igniting a ripple of anticipation. The recruits stepped back, forming a wide circle. Dust rose around their boots, shimmering in the sunlight. Mara's hands trembled, not from fear, but from the memory of metal piercing her skin. She reached slowly for her sleeve. The wind shifted, the crowd hushed, and even Hale's arrogance paused under the sudden stillness. When the fabric slid up, the sunlight poured over the truth. Shrapnel scars, dozens, some deep, jagged, puckered, some faint, pale, and healed by time. Each one a story of a moment where she thought she wouldn't make it out alive. A collective breath caught across the field. Even the air felt different. Warmer, softer, almost reverent. Hale's expression cracked. He recognized the pattern immediately. The signatures of a battlefield explosion. The kind that left survivors only through impossible grit. I carried 3 soldiers out of that blast, Mara said quietly, and I stayed until the fire team reached us. I didn't leave anyone behind. The recruits stared, wide-eyed. The murmurs shifted. No longer skepticism, but awe. Hale's jaw tightened. A moral weight settled over him, heavy and undeniable. He had mocked a wound he didn't understand, a soldier he'd never bothered to learn about. Finally, he stepped forward, voice lowered. Lieutenant, I didn't know. You didn't ask, she replied, not with anger, but something steadier. Dignity. Sunlight glinted off the Admiral's medals, as if judging him too. Then grounding himself, Hale lifted his chin and addressed the entire unit. Listen well, strength isn't always visible, and scars, the real ones, are earned. The recruits straightened again, but this time with deeper respect. Hale extended his hand. Mara hesitated, then clasped it. The tension broke like a wave. Even the watching veterans nodded, satisfied that justice had finally stood its ground. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back, and sometimes it reveals itself under the bright sun. When truth finally steps into the light. If this story moved you, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful, true-hearted stories like this.